math and machine learning and statistics, these are all cool things, but they're just tools for solving problems.
I would love to hear more specifically about your learning or your teaching philosophy.
All right.
What makes effective, presentation course, and what makes someone receptive to learning?
This is something I actually feel very strongly about.
Perfect.
I like to start everything with data or a specific problem or something. I never try to, these days, maybe when I first started, I was doing things differently, but these days, I always try to start with a problem or data or something like that we need to do something to. We need to analyze this data. We've got to fit a line to this data. Why do we even have to fit a line to that? I try to give people context for the problem. I go, I don't know, we want to predict, whether this drug is going to work or not based on the patient's height or age or something like, or the dosage. We want to make these predictions because if we don't do it accurately, well, we could hurt them, or we could, we want to help them and we don't want to hurt them. So I try to give some sort of context or some sort of problem that we need to solve. Obviously, given the topic of whatever StatQuest I'm working on, obviously it can be solved, or you can make good headway using whatever that topic is we're going to dive into. But I always like starting with that problem first rather than the solution. I like having a problem that we then find a solution for rather than a solution that we then find a problem for. Like a lot of textbooks that I read get it backwards. They'll be like, here's the chain rule in complete algebra notation. And, if it makes sense to you, awesome. If it doesn't, then, you're out of luck.
Yeah. Here's a couple throwaway examples after the fact.
After the fact, like at the end of the chapter, they're like, and you can use the chain rule to do this. And I'm like, no, that's not how you teach the chain rule. You start with like, how do you predict how hungry someone is based on their shoe size? Well, if you know their shoe size, you might know their height. And if you know their height, you might know their weight. And if you know their weight, you might know how much they eat. And if you know how much they eat, you might know how hungry, it's like, and you can chain all these things together, and that's how you teach the chain rule. You don't start with like f of x prime equals g of x prime times something else, blah, blah, blah. And then just go.
You don't get it?
Exactly. Exactly. That's no way to teach something. But a lot of people think of it that way because I think because they're excited about the tools. Math and machine learning and statistics, these are all cool things, but they're just tools for solving problems. But I know a lot of people are just like super into the tools because they're kind of like toys, I guess, and you can play with them, and that's fun. But my perspective is like most people aren't going to think, hey, it's fun to play with the toys. Most of people are going to be like, I need to get something done for work because I need to get a raise, or I need to get this done just so I can keep my job, or maybe I want to pass an exam or something like that. I feel like most people are more like problem based and they want to solve problems. And those people that are like, hey, these toys are really fun, I'm going to play with them. I mean, those are the people that like are mathematicians and are super geniuses and whatever. And those people are awesome because they invent awesome, cool stuff that I can then like talk about in my videos. But my videos that's not really my audience. Or if someone can sit down and just look at an equation and go, bam. If that's their skill set, then they don't need to be watching me. My audience is for people like me that are like, I need to have it visualized. I need to have context. I need to have all these things. And so those are, that's sort of like the foundation of my teaching philosophy is like, it has to be problem based. It has to be problems in search of solutions rather than solutions in search of problems. I can't understand it any other way.